Hello, everybody. I am going to be doing the first Zoom meeting of 10. Is that right, Jessie?
Yes.
I think, yes. So we're going to be going over Relay. If you have any questions, please just pop it in the chat or put your hand up or whatever, and we'll go over it. I'm going to start from my end. So Relay is, it's an automated Alberta interlibrary loan service that we use if for people in Alberta that can share their books all over without having to buy them, or for their patrons, whatever, we can just share. I'm going to read this. So it has a union catalog of all the participating libraries, both public and academic, and it allows library card holders to place holds and borrow items not available in their own library system or within track. So if we do have it in track and a Relay item is sent out, it will bounce back and say that it is not going to be filled because it's already owned by track. It's in our system. Make sense so far? If I'm not making sense, stop me, because I will just blather and blather and blather. So you can all see my screen. Oh, yes, Betty Lou.
I just wanted to say, Rhonda, that if the track item isn't available for some reason, if you contact the library you want to borrow from, they will actually still fill the hold on Relay if the track item is unavailable for some reason.
Yeah, sometimes it will bounce back. And I was just taking a learning on Relay this morning. And she said sometimes it will either, the hold will go unfilled because it just keeps bouncing. For some reason, this NSIP bounces it out, but we can, and I found that there is 40 that I have to go through to find out why the hold hasn't been filled. And that is one of the reasons, is that it can just be bounced out, and then you can go and see if it is in that system, if Parkland has it or whatever, and you can actually go right to their catalog and see if they do have it, and then you can just place a request and say, hey, we know you do have it, it's here, it's available, can you please fill this hold? But okay, I'm just going to start at what I see on my end. So when you send, when I get, I'm going to just bring up, so log in, and I didn't even do the ones for today. I would go to, so this is how I would go to our work queue, and there are 9 Northern Lights book bands that need to be printed. So this is what I would get. They're from Edmonton, mostly Parkland, Strathcona, is that maybe what that is? I'm not sure, but I'll find out later. So I would go open it and see that they want this at Edmonton, the Dark Eyes. And if you print off the book band, if I was going to print off the book bands, it would actually tell me what library to put the hold on at. And that's when you guys get your requests to fill every day. So it would be, let me just see here. Can you see this one now? The total. Okay. So Spruce Grove is the one that, okay, I would just send it to Edmonton, but I would be putting a hold on it through Relay with Stuart McPherson. And if it was in, if it said it was in, if it didn't say it was in, then if somebody else, if one of the libraries had it, I would place the hold in their library. If it was Old Point or Two Hills, whatever. And then you would get it on your requests to fill the next day when you get that book, you don't have to put that, yeah, it's going to Calgary. You don't have to put that, you just check it in and it'll just say Northern Lights to Northern Lights on hold. And then you just send it this way. So it doesn't, you don't need to check it out. When the book comes here, I check it in, I see that it's going to Edmonton. I print off that book band, this one here, and put the due date. And then when I check this number into, I'm just going to actually just try doing this here. Copy it, paste, search. I put that there. This is what I would get coming up. It's going to Edmonton. And so when I get the book from you, I put it in here in the item barcode, and then it goes to shipped. Instead of pending, it is now to shipped, and it's sent on its way. Sometimes what happens is if there's like, maybe it's a series and they've got like 5 books and they all have different barcodes, it'll show that you can put all 5 barcodes in there. It'll automatically drop down to let you include all 5 barcodes. Some of the trouble we've been having is that with an academic library, they only have their barcode printed at the top, and it'll be like REG, and then it'll be, you know, a bunch of numbers, but you want the item barcode, you want the book barcode or the DVD barcode. You don't want oh, I just got off topic there. Okay, well, let me just try that again. Instead of the barcode there, it'll be REG up here. And then, but if it's ever for any of our libraries, it'll always be NLLS. So they'll be coming here, and that's when I send them out to you with this handy dandy. I don't know, can you see that? That's the one that we send out that tells you how to activate the hold. And that's just putting in, okay, so this is one of yours, Betty Lou. You would put in this barcode, you would just scan that, and then you would put the barcode from the book. We don't do that. We used to do that. And then we found that by doing that, we were alerting your patrons that their book was already in, but it had only been checked in here. So instead, it now goes to you, and you check in that barcode, the request number, and then the barcode of the book. How does that sound so far? What am I missing?
So we need to use both. So we check in the request barcode and then the book barcode?
Yeah, you'll need to put in that. Yeah, when you check it in, yeah, you'll need to put in that request number.
Okay.
And then put in the item barcode.
Okay, that might explain why my stats don't include my ILL.
Yeah. Any other questions? Is there a digital you follow? Off in half. To follow the hold instructions. Am I missing anything? Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I was just asking in the chat there, you held up a pamphlet and said that's the one I was asking, like, do we have instruction? Like, can we get a copy of that so I could print that off? to follow
Yes,
the instructions?
we send that with every single book. If it's a relay item, it goes into the book and then it just lets you know what to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And once you do it once or twice, it is pretty easy. It's just, honestly, it's just scanning it right here in the request number and then just putting the barcode in there. And then when it's returned, I believe all that happens is you check it in there, it's sent off to us, and we just put it where it's going. We just send it back to the University of U of A, whatever, wherever it's going, EPL.
Rhonda,
Yes.
could could Betty Lou explain what she said about the stats there? Because Betty Lou, I've been wondering about the stats showing up also, and I just don't know if we get enough of a request for anything to have shown up so far. And that's why I'm not getting a tracking. So can you dive a little deeper into that?
Sure. When I print my reports for my manager's report for my board, one of the things that I print is item circulation statistics, I think is the name of the report.
Yeah.
Reports and notices.
Yeah.
And often I notice that the ILL, because it tells you for books and for media, what's been checked in, you know, what you've loaned and what you've borrowed.
Yeah.
And the loaned one seems to show, or do I have that backwards? One of them shows up, like we often have, our board meets every 2 months. So usually I'll have 2 or 3 and they'll
Mhm.
show on one side of the report, but the other ones don't show at all. And I don't know if I'm missing a step in processing these. And it looks like that might be the issue right here. But that's the report I'm referring to.
Okay, I have to, because this has been a question that me and then my staff have had too, is that on the old system, the stats were tracked by the staff and then sent over to me. But now the staff don't get that any kind of report back. And I fear that what they're doing is just adding a paperwork trail that's unnecessary in terms of creating some kind of spreadsheet that tracks it for themselves, when in fact the system, it sounds like, already does it. But like I said, ours are so few and far between. I may not have happened, or I might have got missed thus far. Okay, so that's through item circ stats.
I think that's the right one. I'm not at home, so.
Okay, so if I have to pick your brain about that, I can call you up.
Yeah, I'm in the
Okay.
library Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm actually at home, or I would have dived into Polaris and figured out which report it was, but I don't
Okay.
have it in front of me.
That's okay. I can look a little bit more carefully at it. I print the same one as well. I'll take a second look.
Would that be on Simply Reports, Betty Lou, or not?
I have no idea. Simply is outside my scope of experience. I don't use it.
Okay, I just asked Jesse if there was one for to find that out, because it would be kind of nice to see how many are going.
I don't think that there is one through Simply Reports for that, but I do think that we can get those stats from PLSB. So I'm going to reach out to Miranda and see if we can get some stats broken out for everybody. I'll also talk to Kayla about that. She's our stats queen.
Yeah, just compared to the way they used to do it. And now we've kind of lost that stat. Like, we know people are asking and we know that it's not that frequent, but it is an important aspect to what our delivery, because having access to university libraries and whatnot, to be able to show that stat to your funders is good.
Totally.
And we do have, like, when you are placing a request, you know, it's nice that you can pick when you search either all public libraries in Alberta or academic libraries. So if you can't find it in the public, try the academic. You never know, you know, and vice versa on that.
Can you-
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I hope I didn't cut anybody off. Recently, there was a memo that came out about staff making sure that they signed on so that the search was done by a staff search versus going through as a public person. Did you recall that, Rhonda? And
That was on the PLSB update email.
Okay, I wouldn't have gotten that one. No, I don't have knowledge of that one.
I wonder if that is the reason is to connect the reading of the stats, Jesse, from the difference between a public person going in versus libraries tapping into it. That might be another question to clarify with them.
It might be that. My thought is that when you're logging in as the public, you have far fewer options for what you're trying to do than what the options that a staff will have if they're logged in.
Okay.
So I think it might just be related to like literally the number of buttons you're allowed to push for when you're staff versus when you are just a customer trying to get themselves a book. But we can ask Miranda from PLSB about this because it's their tool and we're just trying to use it.
Okay.
I'm making a list of all of these questions to follow up.
Okay. Anybody? Okay. This is what I learned today. Requests needing mediation. So these, I can't see anything requests with no ROTA. I have no access to that. I don't know if on your end you do. We're going to see why we can't get into that one. I can get into the requests that need review and the lender string exhausted. That's what I was talking about before with them being bounced back with not being able to put a hold on them or to be able to get them. So I just started going through these ones. And so I can go through this and see if we can, some of these are fairly old. I didn't realize that this was something that I needed to do. It's a good thing I was taking some training myself. But yeah, so some of them are from April and May. Well, from April all the way to, well, yesterday.
The
So,
AG Howard one is mine, and I bought the series for our library. So you can
okay.
dump that
Where
one
was
with
that one
the
from?
Hummingbird Heart.
Oh,
1004.
okay. Okay, that's this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can then, oh, so we can go to here. I can show you this. I would. So with that one, because it is now unfilled, we're going to cancel it. So I would go to cancel, unfilled. The list was exhausted and it was canceled by, we can just go cancel by staff no longer needed. And then we just update it. And that will take it off there so it won't keep coming back on. So thanks for that one.
Betty Lou, did you put that request in there? Is that how you knew it was yours or?
Yeah. Yes, I
Okay.
did.
Yeah, so these are all from your libraries, all of these ones.
Right, but then Rhonda, just for clarity, this is the side of Relay that Northern Lights manages, right?
Yes,
If
Oh,
there
then we
was
don't get
a, if there was a cancellation, like it just so happened that Betty Lou noticed hers, what would happen from our side is you would notify us, hey, do you still need this one? Or you would just send it
I-
and then we would send it back because she no longer needed it.
when I go through all these, I'll be able to see, like, when I went to, ooh, which one was it? I did one of these. And it showed that we actually now have it in TrackPack.
Okay.
So I just emailed Ashmont and said, hey, just noticed that we have this in TrackPack, but then I also found out that Ashmont owns it. So they must have bought the book.
Gotcha.
So I just
Okay.
let them know that I noticed it 5 months later.
I
Okay.
noticed that first two, the Beverly Lewis,
Yes,
that's, don't we have those in track in Northern
we
Lights?
do. Yes, we do. So these were also, one we found, well, I'm thinking that one was in,
Oh, that's my lady, Carol Soraka. I recognize her.
oops, I guess I shouldn't be having those on.
Oh, that's
That
okay.
was,
She's looking for a large print.
okay, and we found one, yeah, because I was gonna, actually, we did this yesterday. We found them on audio in TrackPack. Or else you could get them downloaded. So,
Yes, she's an older lady and all she wants is large print.
okay, and that's what we were going to, yes, because it was either audio or digital, but there was both of those, I think both of those books were not large print. We couldn't find them. They're in the library, but they're not
Mhm.
large print. Yeah. And I guess with that, if there is, you know, people are going to read them, like, I mean, large print do go out. So it would be something that we could look at either purchasing or talking to you about what you would like to do. Yeah, just seeing if it would be a good thing to purchase. Any other questions? Do you want to go through your end of it, your side?
That would be
Okay.
logical.
That is Jessie.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
This is what it looks like when you do the advanced search. Oh, that's why they want you to sign in so they can validate that you're actually even eligible to place a hold. Okay, so you can search by keyword, you can search specifically by the title, the author, just a subject, you know, I just want books about philosophy, or you can put in the ISBN number or the ISSN number. So any of that information is possible. So I'm going to follow the search parameters that are suggested for us. So what is used here is we search for Harry Potter. So you can search for all of these words, any of these words, or this specific phrase. I'm going to search all because I want to turn up as many results as I can. And it's going to show me all of the Alberta items that exist that have Harry Potter in the title. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that you can see more closely what I'm looking at. So what you'll see is the title, any subtitle associated with it, the publishing year. You're going to see here on the side an icon that will indicate to you whether the item is a book or an electronic resource or a DVD, an ebook, I think there's also a sign for it being an audiobook, but it's not popping up here. So it could just be that there are none for that. And then it'll also show you which libraries hold this item. What you're going to find is that if this item is held by your lot, like by track, it won't let you place a hold on it. Because then you need to, it'll reroute you to place the hold through track. It will probably mean that there was something wrong with your original search if it didn't turn up that item. What we can do is we can refine this search if we want to narrow it down. So currently, I'm going to make this smaller again so I can see all of the options. So we can refine by the date that it was published. We can refine by format. We can refine by author, subject, and then we can also refine by which library systems have it. In this case, it's looking like it's not going to let us do that. But it will show you how many copies are around. So the only reason you would want to do that is if you were like, well, I know that EPL processes things fast, but if you did that, then you would not, you would take yourself out of the queue for like the available copy, and it would focus in on just one library, which wouldn't necessarily be a good thing. So anyways, once you have determined which is the actual title you wanted, so I, specifically just need to know how the, I just want the history of magic, for instance. So it takes you to this page, which I'm going to, again, maybe make a little bit bigger so you guys can see it more clearly. So it gives you all of the mark information, the description, and then it lets you pick up where you want to get your book from, or your item from. So I haven't been going into the office very much lately, so I'm going to send it over to Leah. Leah, hold my book. And if you only need a particular volume, you can indicate that here. But in most instances, you're just going to get the whole item. If you don't have to indicate volume. You could just be like, I want the whole thing. If you have any notes that you want to comment, you can do that here. I can't really think of something that you would want to comment. Can anybody think of a comment that you might need to?
I think if you're looking for like an anthology, like say for somebody who's taking university courses, and there's different versions, like
like
1 and 2, but you want to know that whatever story from version 2 is in version 3, you could maybe say that.
Thank you. That's a really, really good example of why you might need a note. So it's like, only need like
Anthology with the story of Gilgamesh in it.
Yeah. Yeah, for example. You have to accept that you have to acknowledge you accept the institution's condition for placing requests. And then here is where you can place requests. So at this point, I think you do need to log in because otherwise you can't get the book. So I will. That's my code. Woohoo, look at me remembering the whole thing. Please? Yes. Okay. So, and now my request has been submitted. So I can see which of these libraries have how many versions of this same DVD. And so I can see that right now there are 5 available in Alberta. So I can feel fairly confident that it's going to be processed and put on the road as soon as possible. So now I'm logged in. There shouldn't really be anything embarrassing on my account, so I'll open it up. So as a user, I should be able to view my current holds. There they are. So I can do basic things in here, like I can cancel my requests. I can look at what I currently have out. I can see where I can contact library staff.
Jesse, I have a question here.
Mhm.
So this is on the patron side. So can libraries see what their patrons put on hold, or no?
I believe
That's
that
still
you-
pretty private.
No. When you're a librarian, you have access to view this information. Like 100%, you have access to view this information. Where FOIP comes into things is that you only have a legal authority to look at this information if you have a legitimate reason.
But what I meant
I
was,
didn't look.
like, you know how Rhonda sees what the libraries are sending as a request on her side and she gets everything? And then Betty Lou said, oh, we bought that one, so you can say that. Can we go in as the library manager and like Betty Lou could have just said that out of there on her behalf when she knew, or is that not a step? And I'm sorry that I'm not, like I said, I've only done a shoulder learning on this.
No worries. So this is something that I haven't had to do, so it'll take me a minute to figure out how, but I am fairly certain that you can. Because there is an element of work that the library needs to do in order to work with us on Relay. So I believe that you can view holds from your library in the dashboard.
I think that might be that rota that I can't get into. Let me see.
Here, I'll stop sharing my screen and I will do some searching on the side here. So Chantel, patrons don't need to create a login. What they would just use is their library card and their PIN number.
Do you see it?
Yeah,
Do you see it still?
no,
It ran away.
Can you see it?
now we see.
There you
it.
go, right there. That's the window we
This
want.
is so painful. Okay,
Well,
I'm gonna get through this. I'm really trying here. Okay, here we go. What am I looking for?
Okay, maybe I wasn't the best one to choose because all I have are requests needing mediation and there's
Oh.
222 of them.
okay, but there is, so under Melnick, there's also requests pending receipts.
Do you mind if I open these up?
Nope, go ahead. I think they are actually empty.
So I think that, okay, so you don't have any right now, but I think
Okay,
that's where
let's
you would
go
find them.
to, Kathleen? Catherine? Can we try yours?
Yeah, I just tried it and I looked at my password and it's wrong. But yeah, you can.
Try your
Try it.
password as the same as your username.
Well, I did. It's what is it? A small, what is it?
Yeah.
I Googled Relay, right?
Mhm.
All lowercase, Catherine.
Yep.
And then it should be the same, your
ABOY,
your
right?
password, ABOY.
Yeah, ABOY small. And then the password is
Should
big
all-
letters ABOY.
No, it should also be small. Unless
Oh,
it's
is it?
changed.
Okay, we'll try it. Yeah, I don't mind using it. Yeah.
You're in the patron login though. Whoever's sharing their screen is in
That's me,
patron
that's-
login, not staff.
It's in host though. So this is see, this is where, so the host, so the D2D is patron side and the host side should be staff, which is why this is so weird.
They're just,
Well, let's see what happens. Well,
You're in Patron Login.
Yeah. So there's something that isn't connecting quite right this time.
okay. I just want
Maybe that's why it didn't work.
So where it's got group equal patron, just change it to group equal staff.
I'm just gonna go to Relay.
Staff login. Yeah. Up there. Staff logins is down. Here.
Oh, did I go to the wrong one?
I don't know. Yes.
Well, this one.
That's the one you want.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
This
That's
is the
the one we were
patron side
in.
again. Yeah. That's the patron side again. Relay portal, staff login. So it should be relay-host.com. So I'm going to put the login into the chat here.
I
And
did.
oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, it's already there.
Yep. Okay. So that should be the one that works. So I'm going to go ABM and okay. How are you doing, Rhonda?
Hey, I'm still wrong.
Ah, okay.
Okay, go, stop. Okay. No.
Okay,
All right. Let me share my screen, Rhonda.
okay.
We'll get it figured.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just the thing,
Okay.
right? Is like,
It
as
should
much
be,
as these tools are,
is this should be staff right here?
no, it should be host.com request/query.
Okay, will you share your screen?
Yeah.
I'm not having any
Okay.
luck. Oh, stop share. There we go.
Funny, you're just closing your own windows.
I know.
Is everybody having fun?
okay.
Okay, so I will share my screen. This is what I see. Can everybody see the Alberta Relay screen?
Yes.
Grand. So I've logged in as Bonnieville. So what you should be able to see is, so here's where staff would search and enter requests on behalf of patrons. So you can do that there. And then here is the work queues where you should be able to see all of the stuff that's in the process. So pending receipt should be all of the active requests that we are waiting to process. So right now, there are 3. My Fight for Irish Freedom, Heat Waves in a Swamp, and There's a Time. So if you click on them, it should show you what's being asked for. And it should show what the status date is. So it was submitted on the 18th, and it looks like this is still pending. Let's see, what is the most recent update? Most recently updated, received, checked in. So it looks like maybe it's gone out and come back.
Yeah. we
It
did
hasn't
have
been
this.
loaned though. It looks like it's been received at Edmonton, but they haven't sent it out. Because it should say, if it was loaned, it should say,
Loaned in the middle here.
no, but it should say in the, that it was loaned out. It
Under
doesn't,
function.
yeah, it doesn't say that it's been loaned. So it doesn't look like it's actually gone to
So,
where it's supposed to go.
You can also go here on the side and see not shipped for more than 2 weeks. So this one should show you. Come on. I don't want to look at My Fight for Irish Freedom anymore.
Yeah, that's the one we were trying to find.
Yeah, and so here's receive loan. So it looks like an item was skipped somewhere along the way because it's back at Edmonton Public Library, but it doesn't show as having been received. So this is where you go to view things, but the kind of issue is that we're still sort of figuring out how to use this tool well.
Mhm.
And it's going to definitely require some more support from PLSB. So yeah, I guess stay tuned. There will be further updates. But here in the work queues is where you should be able to see items that are kind of still in process. And if you ever have any questions about things that are in your queue, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, even if we don't know exactly how to fix something, we can find out. Thank you all for coming along on this ride as we try to kind of sort through our various tools and learn how to use them and, you know, make sure that we're all on the same page. And yeah, that's all I've got for today. We will be posting an edited version of this video.
5 minutes long.
But thank you all for participating and for, you know, your willingness to kind of come with us as we step outside our comfort zones and, you know, try to learn together. I think some fun was had, and I'm looking forward to the next webinars in our 10-part series.
Oh, thanks for putting up with me.
Oh,
I'm not
I'm
a great
totally used to
speaker.
putting up with you, Rhonda. I think we had a little bit of fun today, and I'm looking forward to having some more fun with everybody. So
Thank you, everybody.
sign off here. Thank
Okay.
you all for coming. Hopefully we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye all.